He had to sway back.
Right, and as we go down the line there, Go Katie, Our Girlie. Pandy's Son, I rate a bit of an outsider chance. Perhaps a bet for the ladies sitting at home today.
He's trained by Graham Mooney here at the track. The one I like, though, is Star Sign Girl, number 14. Glenn Dorrell's the rider, a very good apprentice, and she has performed particularly well at Murray Bridge downhill.
Well, they're off.
Typical Tiger seemed to go up when the gates opened. Ardent Knight won the jump with Go Katie going keenly. Beauregard the inside makes a line of 3. Then Manicarrera caught very deep around them, about 4 and 5 wide. Better Seymour gets back to centre field with Pandy Son, Our Girlie the rail. Then Sophie's Secret, Countess Gilgood, Star Sign Girl checked up behind those Diamond Glory as they prepare to slip down the hill. 2 lengths, Renina Son's not in the race for the moment. And 8 the Typical Tiger after that moderate start. Ardent Knight a narrow leader. Go Katie comes at it. Down the hill they charge. 3 in front of Beauregard, working home from Manicarrera. 2 lengths away, Star Sign Girl and Better Seymour, followed by Our Girlie the rail. Pandy Son and then Countess Gilgood, then Renina Son, homeward bound. Ardent Knight just the leader. The locally trained Go Katie gets it quickly. Getting home on the inside, Beauregard and Our Girlie. Wider out, Star Sign Girl. Now Countess Gilgood and Renina Son are coming late. It's not over yet, folks. 70 to go. Go Katie just in front. Renina Son is diving through the gap. He's flying and out wide. Countess Gilgood, they hit it, split it. Countess Gilgood won. Countess Gilgood has just won from Renina Son. Now third I'm not sure about. It rests between Star Sign Girl out wide and on the inside Go Katie. 3 lengths Ardent Knight, Beauregard, Our Girlie. And again these early leaders have knocked up as they did Saturday. Further back behind them Typical Tiger, followed then by further back Diamond Glory. Manicarrera, Pandy Son, one of the last home.
And there we have it, the unofficial winner, number 3, Countess Gilgood, ridden by Simon Price, and it was a very strong riding performance race.
Certainly was. Spread across the track with 200 to run. She's the widest runner in your screen at the moment. The horse with the white snip on her nose. Just inside her in the lime is Star Sign Girl, and getting between them is the top weight Renina Son. At this stage, it looked like Renina Son might win, but on the outside, Countess Gilgood just found a little bit more over the last little bit. And of course, Go Katie in the Rubiton colours closest to the rail is not far away in 4th place.
So in actual fact, that did prove to be a very keenly contested affair, and Simon Price just riding with the whip in the right hand down the outside, hands and heels over the line. It was a well-judged run, and that was a pretty good way to open the day. I certainly favoured Countess Gilgood, so I'm pretty happy.
Well, the favourite wins, so that's the way to start.
It's a good way for punters to start. We'll be here back at live at 1:30 right through until 5 p.m. Don't forget, race 2 starting time is 12 noon, the Adelaide Casino Handicap. Metres, and Ray, the Colin Hayes filly Apawamas is all the rage.
She's probably the shortest price favourite of the day, Kim. She's getting very close to even money. She's in green and red hoops, but the runner's moving into the barrier. Let Him Slide as the top weight with T. Holter, the rider. It's a much-travelled galloper. 2 has hit the lights. The rider is P. Marks. Was friendless at Broken Hill when it won. It got up at 25 to 1 up there, and it's only about 10 to 1 here today. Humbert River Rose is an 8-year-old. And there's number 8, Eichel, with Brendan Sweeney, the jockey. It's probably best back to beat the other runner.
Yeah, it's good each way odds down in the ring. I was down there a moment ago. It was about 45 to 10, and they're about to go.
Remaining, of what there is remaining, I should say, Easter, Graham. Now, just about set, 1,050, second division of the Adelaide Casino Handicap. Apawamas is a firm favourite. They look to be all the way. We're still waiting for them to settle. Starter not happy with something. Now the light's on, and he lets them go very quickly, and towards the inside, Let Him Slide, bounced out pretty well, hit the lights, was showing speed up. Awamas also heading up towards the leading group. Russian Cloud out a bit deeper on the track, space trail between horses. Back about 6 then was Humbert River Rose, a half a length away on the inside, then Our Attraction, a couple to Eichel. Outside of it, Cole Quiller, then 2 lengths further back, Oxford Jim losing a bit of ground there with Avon's Kingdom on the outer. 3 or 4 lengths away then to Swift and Free, and they are followed 2 lengths away then by Blue Seal last of all. Down the hill, 500 metres to run, and it still hit the lights. The leader by a half a length, Space Trailer Centre. Russian Cloud's never been on the track. Apawamas has always had the good run behind them. Then Humbert River Rose, in trouble, Space Trail. It stumbled there on the turn, and down goes Oxford Jim, lost the rider. He's okay, I think. In the straight, 200 out, hit the lights, joined by Apawamas. Down the outside, Eichel's coming hard. Apawamas and Eichel, then Our Attraction. Apawamas the inside, Eichel, hands and hills the outside, Eichel beat up Awamas the neck. Our Attractions run third, 3 or 4 away. Then hit the light Tumbit River Rose, Colquilla. A Gat Russian Cloud, Let Him Slide, Avon's Kingdom, Blue Seal. Then the riderless one, Oxford Jim. The horse actually never went down, and he's galloped with them. And Swift and Free was last in. And we've got another riderless one here. Space Trail's broken down, oh dear. He's badly injured. It looks like he's near
The
side.
unofficial winner there, number 8, Eichel, coming down the outside again, Ray.
Did a good job, Eichel, because there was a bit of a problem on the home turn. One of the horses there, Space Trail, broke down badly. Another runner cannoned into the back of him and lost his rider. And Eichel went out after Apawamis. Apawamis fought back. There was nothing in it until about the last 10 or 15 metres when you see the horse on the outside just doing a shade the better. Apawamis, the favourite, wouldn't give in. They're out of unison as they go to the line, but Apawamis is out of stride with the winner, Eichel, who I think will just get it.
It appears that he has won the race. It was a good ride. And, of course, the jockey was Brendan Sweeney. And, as you mentioned, that was the best back runner to beat the favourite in Apawamis.
Although the only 2 punters wanted in the race, and Eichel's done the job at each way odds.
Well, we'll be back at 12:40 for race 3, the David Jones 2-year-old handicap. And Raymond, it appears to be a race in 3.
Certainly does look that way. Flash Fighter is the favourite, the top weight. He opened up in the red, but he's eased out a little bit with good money for Innocent Age and Delfray Moore. And there's one at longer odds, Trinculo is a lovely type of horse. And that's number 6 in the pink and white stars. Similar ownership to New Logic and New Atlantis, and it'll be very interesting to see if he's the improver.
We noticed Ray Flash Fighter, the Victorian horse trained by John Leake, actually opened in the red in some quarters.
Yes, well, he's got good form. He ran placing behind Kenny Ladd in the spring, and in the Blue Diamond Prelude, he wasn't that far away in a top-class field.
And, of course, Colin Hayes trains Innocent Age. He had the favourite in the previous race. That was just beaten. Maybe he can get a change of luck in this coming event.
Last start winner at Moonee Valley. She's very lightly framed. She'll be the one moving in on the inside. Lord Wynyard is the runner going in at the moment. There goes Innocent Age in now in the green and royal blue. Not much of her, but a lovely bred filly. And no doubt she'll go very fast early, but you'll be impressed when you see the favourite. He's a lovely big grey. There he is there, going in now, Flash Fighter.
Very well developed for a 2-year-old.
Big and strong. Alf Matthews, of course, he won't lose anything on the score of horsemanship. And there's Delfray Moore about to move in, trained by Ron Morgan. And it has very consistent form to its credit. The other runner of interest is Mistress Seymour, one of Colin Hayes' having its first start. In the royal blue and pink there, drawn in 3. There goes the likely leader, Quattro Gambi, moving in, goes very fast.
Yes, you mentioned before, so Quattro Gambi should be the leader. Of course, Innocent Age had to the advantage of the inside rail, and they're about to take off in the 3rd race.
The David Jones handicap, $1.15 Flash Fighter, $1.45 Innocent Age. Racing in the David Jones. Lady Graphite wobbled out of the gate. She'll be 4 or 5 last on settling. Best away Flash Fighter. Quattro Gambi kicks up with it. A length Delfray Moore followed then by moving through between horses Mistress Seymour. Innocent Age getting back on the rail from Lord Wynyard around the outside Trinculo. And 2 away tacking up now Lady Graphite. This ghostly grey Flash Fighter has dashed to a 2-length lead from Delfray Moore coming after it. Over on the inside Quattro Gambi's run a forward race with 600 to run. Behind them losing ground. Not travelling down the hill, Mistress Seymour. Trinculo getting between it. Down on the rail, Innocent Age. Then 2 lengths away behind those came out wide Lord Wynyard and last Lady Graphite, but Flash Fighter got into overdrive and said Tatar on the turn and kicked 4 in front. It's well clear. Down the outside, Delfray Moore. They were followed by Quattro Gambi, who's run a huge race. Then Innocent Age. And further back behind them, Mistress Seymour. But this grey is going to go right away. And it bolts in the best bet of the day. Flash Fighter. It scored by about 4 or 5. 2nd Innocent Age, 3rd Delfray Moore, 4th home Quattro Gambi, a nice run, followed out wide by Mistress Seymour. Back in behind those Lady Graphite, Trinculo, Lord Wynyard last and wayward down the turn.
The winner, number 1, Flash Fighter, the grey, and there was good money to suggest, Ray, that he would run a race like this.
Well, that's the way you like to see them. 1st, 2nd and 3rd in favouritism.
Where they go over the line, the Colin Hayes trained horse Innocent Age, running on well for 2nd place. And Delfray Moore finished in 3rd place. Just a reminder that we will be coming to you live at 1:30 right through until 5 o'clock tonight. And stay with us. We'll be back for race 4, the South Australia TAB Harry D. Young Hurdle.
against him rated a kilogram better horse than Zamalad, who won this race 4 times in a row.
And is it too much weight, Ray?
I think it is. I think Mr. Dynamite is probably the one to beat. Also with a good chance of Spanish Minstrel. And, of course, it must win to keep John Leake in line for the $100,000 bonus.
And that bonus has never been won before.
No, of course, he's got River Amos later on in the Great East, and he's already won the Von Dusen.
Anything down the bottom of the card that appeals at all, Ray?
I think historically, as the up-and-comer, he's only had limited experience over jumps, shown tremendous potential, and was a good winner here on Saturday.
Well, on the TAB, the favourite is Wandering Duke. The second favourite is Mr. Dynamite, another up-and-comer who's had pretty good form. It's going to be an interesting race, and of course, it's not necessarily just the best horse, it's the horse that gains the most amount of luck as well. Indeed so. They've got 2 laps of the track to travel. They start in front of the grandstand. As you can see, they're moving about a bit as Tassie's Guest goes in the black and red, number 8. They're going in pretty quickly. In fact, they're just about all set for the start. And your caller will be Ron Paps. This is the Harry D. Young hurdle over 3,600 metres.
TAB favourite, $1.75, number 1, Wandering Duke, and they're on their way. And a pretty tidy sort of a start. Wandering Duke and historically the stablemates have all jumped away all right. Silver City Boy is going to lead them over the first hurdle and did so, and they've all cleared it. And Silver City Boy runs towards the side of the hill now and is the leader from Tassie's Guest, followed by historically Wandering Duke is caught wide. Getting up along the inside, next in behind horses was Crescent Ray with Palace Sun.
Making their way around the back of the hill at the 1400 the first time around. Historically in the centre, just the leader. The stablemate Wandering Duke just a little bit wide on the course as they go to the one at the 1300. Wandering Duke will go to the lead. Back third then was Silver City Boy. Next on the outside then was Crescent Ray. Tassie's Guest on the paint next. A length Mr. Dynamite, a length away then to Palace Sun. Mr. Millionaire the outside, another length then to Twigger. Covering it up would have been Romney, 2 or 3, Spanish Minstrel, Calamino, Light the Lot and Come to Perth last of all.
They go towards the next hurdle along the far side, and they've invited Wandering Duke to carry the grandstand, 70.5 kilos, and he's doing it well. He's a length in front of historically along the far side at the 800-metre hurdle, jumped it nicely. 3 or 4 lengths away, Silver City Boy. 2 then, going along okay, 2 is Crescent Ray, 2 to Tassie's Guest, 3 Mr. Dynamite. They were followed by Mr. Millionaire going up behind them as they go to the next flight. Further back in the field, Come to Perth made an awful mess of it, dropped out to last. Running about 6th and 7th last there with Mr. Millionaire was Romney, and on the inside next Palace Sun as they come down the hill the first time. Well back Calamino, Light the Lot and Come to Perth doesn't jump too flash at Oakbank. On the turn into the straight they come now in the South Australian TAB Harry D. Young hurdle, and here's the first of 4 again, and the leader is Wandering Duke by a length and a half. In second placing historically, third placing going well Silver City Boy, 3 to Crescent Ray. Mr. Dynamite inching up a bit closer. Next on the inside Tassie's Guest, Spanish Minstrel was next from Mr. Millionaire. At the jump in front of the stand, well back behind that group came Palace Sun, then Twigger, followed further back by Light the Lot, who screwed on landing. Took Calamino wide, and last of all Come to Perth, Wandering Duke. He carries the grandstand, 70.5 kilos, and he's still clear with 1,600 to run. He's a length and a half historically, followed by Silver City Boy. 3 lengths away, then Crescent Ray, Mr. Dynamite. Then Tassie's Guest, the others headed by Spanish Minstrel.
And around the back of the hill they come once again. Now they've got 1,400 to go, and Wandering Duke is the leader, but they're packing up front. Only half the length historically the outside. They come to this one at the 1,300, or just dipping a little Silver City Boy, Crescent Ray the outside. A length and a half then to Tassie's Guest. Mr. Dynamite on the improve. They're really bunching up front. Spanish Minstrel the centre. 2 lengths then to Romney, Palace Sun. A length and a half Twigger, a long gap Like the Lot from Come to Perth, and then Mr. Millionaire and Calamino.
Historically has taken the lead from Wandering Duke as they come back into sight along the far side, and historically jumped that well, a length and a half clear. Second placing Wandering Duke, third Crescent Ray, Spanish Minstrel. John Leake looking for the $100,000 bonus, would give him the second leg if successful. It goes to fourth, but historically shot away. It's 4 or 5 in front of Crescent Ray, Wandering Duke, Spanish Minstrel, then Mr. Dynamite. They were followed by Silver City Boy. Well back Tassie's Guest, forget the others, headed by Romney, and they've strung out like sausages. On the turn they come now, 450 to go, and historically going for Saturday to Monday wins. 4 in front, Crescent Ray looks the danger. Spanish Minstrel trying hard, goes to third. Wandering Duke, he's been pegged back by the big burden. Historically comes to the second last, jumped it beautifully. Crescent Ray, Spanish Minstrel, Mr. Dynamite, then further back Silver City Boy, but it's historically, he goes to the last fight and he jumped it beautifully, and historically Saturday's winner wins again, butters up on Monday and has won the TAB Harry de Young hurdle by 5. Crescent Ray second, 8 lengths away third Spanish Minstrel, 3 lengths away then Mr. Dynamite, another 6th then a Silver City Boy after making an error at the 1400 metre hurdle. Well back then Wandering Duke, Tassie's Guess, Romany. They were...
And there's the unofficial winner, number 10 historically, and it was a beautifully judged race.
Certainly was. He was a lightweight and he was up with his stablemate Wandering Duke all the way. And Kim, I reckon they'll run very, very fast time here. Certainly the track a little bit rain affected, but it was a brilliant win by Historically, and he looks like being a great jumper.
So the official placings, number 10, then 5 and 4. We'll be back here at 1:30, then stay with us right throughout the afternoon live from Oakbank.
There. And then into the back straight, and they start sprinting at about the 1,000-metre mark.
And that's probably, we should explain it, that's why we're here, 2 course commentators, Peter Smith and Ron Paps, because at one stage, one of those commentators, their view will be obscured. Looking at the lineup, it's a pretty open race. It's a big field, Ray. Who do you fancy and why?
I think High Armour is the one. He's won a couple of good class races at Terang recently and wasn't disgraced in the Hamilton Cup. I think he's probably the best. Apart from him, Tassie Downs, Pill Dapper, and there's a good tip around for Jadake Boy, number 7.
As we look down the bottom, no lightweight opportunities there.
Well, Master Monty, I think, will run the journey out. Pin Number will run on, and Law Hawk was a good winner at Port Lincoln recently, but most of them have country form.
Well, it is the Beneficial Finance Country Cup. Perhaps if you just explain how horses do qualify for the Country Cup.
Right, now normally these horses would run in country races and they probably would never get a chance to run for this sort of stake money, but they've qualified by racing on the provincials and they come to town for this race and the winner gets $11,000, so it's certainly going to be a big boost to their prize money.
Well, I'm glad you picked High Armour. That was my selection, so you've made me feel a little bit more confident now. And a roughie for the people watching at home, perhaps like the tea ladies tip, something like that, Ray?
Well, something like Pin Number or Master Monty. They'd be about 20 to 1 and in with a chance.
Right. And what about the start? Is there any advantage, a wide barrier, inside barrier, when you're talking about 1,900 metres? Because I see the favourite, or the one that we fancy, High Armour, has drawn 17.
Yeah, I'd say it's always an advantage to draw well because it doesn't matter how long a run you get to the first turn, you can have options. But I think High Armour will be a fair way back anyway. There you see the runners in the parade ring, and we'll have a closer look at them shortly. Yeah,
well, a lot of people, when they get down to the parade ring, they like to have a look at the horses, whether it's just to be close to the action or not. What do you actually look for before backing a horse, as far as a horse being prepared? Should you look at their coat and things like that?
I'd say you want them to shine a little bit. You certainly want them to be well muscled, and you certainly want them to be fairly relaxed. One thing you don't like is when they're on their toes and springing about a bit. You want them to be just walking along calmly and looking at good and strong, particularly in the hindquarters.
Well, there's all the horses down in the parade ring. Also down there is KG. He's not one of the horses, but he might have a tip for us.
Thanks, Kimbo. Now, Cass, a few moments ago you told me it was a very, very hard race in which to try and have a bet in this one.
The reason being, Ken, is that the horses are country horses.
Right.
City race goers don't see them that much. They've got to have qualifications to run in this. You've got Victorian horses. You've got horses from Port Augusta, Port Lincoln. So the city punter has to be guided by the media, the print media or the radio or TV to tip them a winner. What are you going to tip them?
Well, Cass, I'm a desperate.
Desperate?
I've got to have a bet. So can you give me a clue?
I've got a lot of time for the Victorian horses, particularly from Warrnambool. I think number 3, High Armour, can win.
Alfie Matthews aboard, I've backed it, actually. You're a good judge, Cass?
I am, but the fact is he's drawn a little wide now. He might need luck in the first 600 metres to find a position.
Well, Alfie's good enough to get him across, surely.
I've got a bit of time for Boucher Boy. He's trained by a school teacher, Jamie Kelton.
Right. Is that right?
Yes, he's a horse that's shown ability. Jamie Kelton is the son of the former trackman at Morfordville, John Kelton. He's done a good job with Boucher Boy.
Good rider too, Peter Hutchison.
Peter Hutchison understands the horse. He's got a chance. We've seen him in the city. You've got 2 or 3 other horses like Pill Dapper over on the west coast. You've got Tassie Downs, who's been up to Broken Hill. So it's not an easy race. The punters will have to just follow the money in the ring.
Well, Cass, I saw a young lady talk to you. It's one of the horses that was parading here, and she was holding Dig for Gold. She whispered in your ear.
No, she just said unbelievable. I don't know. It wasn't meant for me. No, they've got a team of the girls. Remember when we interviewed them last year with Brown Cast? Yep. They only had 1 horse. They've got a team of 8 or 9 horses now, so that success has led to success.
OK, well, I've gone for High Armour. Good luck, Cass. We'll come back after the break. He's going for most of the day, and some of the fashions have been absolutely outstanding. They really have, and no doubt it's a marvellous occasion, not only just for the racing fans, but of course for the non-racing fans. They've certainly made it a family day, and they're all eagerly awaiting the running of the Great Eastern Steeplechase, which certainly promises to be a magnificent event. Of course, one of the favourites this race 5, is High Armour, ridden by Alfie Matthews, and of course I'll be backing that, or I have backed it, and let's hope it can get first past the post. Okay, joining me now is Kevin Sattler. Casa?
Thank you, Ken, and we've got the chairman of stewards with us, Mr. Bruce Fullerton. Bruce, you had a busy day on Saturday, 10 races.
Yes, Kevin.
I noticed you swabbed 17 horses. That must be a record for a Saturday on Oakbank.
Yeah, it certainly was. It's just in line with our normal procedures of upping our swabbing procedures, Kevin, and the numbers that we're doing, yes, and we're doing it again today.
True. Now, does it concern you at a picnic meeting like this with such a crowd and being an antiquated setup in way of horse stalls, the security around the stall area, is that a concern?
Yes, it does. It does concern me greatly, but I've got 4 men consistently down there with our racecourse detective, Don O'Doherty, and we're patrolling that area on a regular basis.
Well, that's a very, very good point,
Yes.
because with the Timonol scare that's in the eastern states, I would imagine that Oakbank would be very suspect for anyone who wanted to be up to devious tricks. I'm glad to see now. You've had that many round security at the stalls before at Oakbank?
No, not since I've been back, Kevin, no.
Right, and today you'll swab every winner or what?
Yes, at the present time we're up about 12 swabs up to date.
Now, what about when the swabs go back? Do you ask whether they're checked for Timonol as well?
All our swabs are checked for Timonol at this stage, Kevin, yes.
That's
they have
good.
been for about the last 3 months.
Well, Bruce, it's been a wonderful spectacle. We've got no falls in the hurdle race today. Let's hope we don't have a fall in the steeple.
Yes.
Have you seen a bigger crowd at Oakbank?
No, I just made the comment we were up there in our tower prior to that last race. I don't think I've seen a bigger crowd in my life.
No, and they've got perfect weather. It's getting a little cool now, but it's been glorious sunshine.
Yeah, they'll all enjoy themselves tonight, Kevin, I think.
Well, now, Bruce, the interference, there's been a bit of interference because of the cambers on the turn. Do you think the lack of experience of some of the younger riders are making the mistakes?
Yes, I think you've hit the nail on the head.
Now, what about the new brushed fences? They've got the tops on them now. They look like steeplechasers.
Yeah, they have made a big difference, Kevin. On Saturday, there was a number of horses getting tired back in the field, and they were able to brush through them rather than tip over, and we're very happy with them, yes.
Well, every jockey I've spoken to who've schooled horses, have ridden in the race, said it is now a true steeplechase. Particularly the Victorians have told me that.
Yes. Yeah, no,
And
very happy with them.
I've seen a school yesterday morning that no one was here to see. Donny's Chance came and schooled 7 fences. Now, he schooled brilliantly. Now, it amazed me that he got through the guard of the media. I came up here and I watched another horse, Enagoni, school. He wasn't impressive, but Donny's Chance looked good in the school. He's a nice type. And I would say that the new fences, the way they're styled, is going to encourage more horses to come to Oakbank.
Oh, yeah, I feel sure of that, Kevin, yeah. Initially, we were a little bit concerned about just the bevel of them, and the club did what we wanted there, and we're very happy with them, yes.
Now, what did you think of the hurdle? It was a big contract for a top-weight Wandering Duke to carry, but his stablemate is the most impressive hurdler I've seen come out of the Oakbank scene.
Yes, I would agree with you. You know, after his win on Saturday, I was a bit doubtful with him whether he'd go the distance and coming back after Saturday on to Monday, but he certainly proved he's a pretty good horse.
Well, I've seen little horses like Paltenta, Wizamo, and
Yes.
he's a better horse than them.
I would agree with you again.
Well, Bruce, I hope you have a trouble-free day, you and your panel.
So do I.
I'm glad to see the security on the swabbing area is very under the vigilant eye of Force Security and your racecourse detective, and let's hope we have a pleasant day.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks very much.
Yes, and they certainly do a tremendous job. And talking of Oakbank, we come to expect a lot of long-priced winners getting up here, but it certainly hasn't been the case today, Ray.
No, it wasn't the case on Saturday either. Punters having a great day here today. Kim opened up with Countess Gilgood winning the first. It was favourite at good odds. And then we had Arpa Wamus just beaten by the second favourite in the second race. And then we had, of course, Flash Fighter winning the third. He was well and truly favourite, and historically was well in the market. So it's been a good day so far for the punters.
Certainly has been. And do you think that there's been a little more consistency because of the track improvements they've made?
I think that's probably right. The track is banked up now on the home turn, and riders, if they take off too early, they're caught out. They get down to about the 200 and they're starting to struggle. And as a result, you get the better horses generally have the better riders. And that's why there's the home turn. You can see that it's built up on the outside, and it helps hold the horses on the track as they come down that hill at breakneck speed.
Yes, well, out of the 4 races so far, we've seen 2 horses that have come from behind, and of course Flash Fighter, he was just far too strong, and he went to the line very impressively to lead all the way.
Now there you see the favourite for this race in the grey and red stripes, number 3, High Armour, and he's firmed up considerably in the last few moments of betting. On the tote at the moment, he's showing $2.25 for 50 cents, and Alf Matthews has already ridden one winner, Flash Fighter, so he'd be chock full of confidence.
Yes, there he is, the favourite. And Alfie, known as the Ace, he's a very confident and competent jockey. And have a look at that huge crowd, and that's part of the excitement, getting by the barriers and actually seeing the horses bolt out as the jockeys try and stall them along to jostle for position.
Kim, I think one of my earliest memories is leaning over the fence as a 5-year-old and seeing tons of horseflesh coming at me flat out, and the noise and the shouting as they go over the jumps. Certainly, you can't beat it for atmosphere.
Well, talking about your interest in horses, you're a former race caller and one of the best, if not the best, in South Australia. What type of preparation is required to call a race? Now, take this event where we've got a large number of horses, something like 18 horses participating, and especially at Oakbank, it's not easy to get a good view of all horses.
I think, Kim, it's still easier to do than, say, call football, because they all wear the same colours at the football, but each horse has individual colours with a jockey. Each horse looks different, they're different colour, they're shaped differently, their gait is different. And as you can see, watching them walk around there, to the layman, they may all look the same, but they're not. Each horse is shaped differently, and you can often pick them up just by the style. As you can see, the silks are the greatest help to a caller, even though they do blend in a little bit. They're quite clear cut when you look through the binoculars.
Well, I suppose it's what you grow up with, Ray. I would consider it a nightmare to try and call those horses as quickly and as fluently as what race callers do. Yet obviously football becomes a lot more naturally to me. Yes. And you mentioned there, you notice the way a horse actually moves and runs. Well, you do that likewise with that in football. But exactly. I think it's a tremendous art, and full credit to all the race callers in Australia. And of course, Peter Smith and Ron Papps, who will be calling this event.
Now, there's a lot of danger behind those stalls. Most of these horses are relaxed and they do the right thing. But the gentlemen that lead them in do at times take their life into their hands. As you can see, if that horse were to run in now, it would probably trample the attendant.
And would the front of the gate push open or not?
Maybe. Now, the gentlemen that closed the gate at the back, they also take a chance too, because if the horse lashes out, there's nowhere to go, really.
Yes, and then we often get the situation where a horse just doesn't want to go into the stall, and at times that can be quite comical, even though it's a little frustrating for all the handlers.
They have to lift them in. Now, there's Bold Rani going in, number 6. It's got the blonde mane. It's a pretty horse, but its recent form has only been fair. It did win a race at Edenhope over the border to qualify for this event.
And in the background there, in the lime green and royal blue, previously was in reserve.
There they are, the jockeys in the gates. Just make sure that they've got their feet in the irons. They make sure their goggles are on correctly, and they watch closely.
Well, they're all set to go on the Country Cup. Let's take you to Ron Papps.
Mr. Monty wanted to rear, but they're set. The lights flashing away, and they're on their way. Gilmore slowest out of the gates. Best away Tassie Downs. Bold Rani, the flashy chestnut, looking keenly for the lead. Pildapper around the outside, going very deep around the outside. Higher More, they're crowding. Lucky Loot, Paddy Secret in reserve is deep. Boucher Boy pushing through Towering Trojan. Getting right up along the inside to a nice spot, Jadaki Boy. It's right on the rail from Sergeant at Arms and Pin Number, and further back Boucher Boy, followed behind those then by Gilmore Dig for Gold last.
And around the back of the course they come now, and Lucky Loot around the outside goes to the lead by a length. In second placing Bold Rani, a length and a half under a hard hold Higher More. The inside Jadaki Boy, a length then in reserve. The inside Pildapper from Sergeant at Arms, Master Monty 3 deep. In the centre there Tassie Downs. Further back Lawhawk, Towering Trojan was very wide. Further back then to Pin Number, and they are followed by Paddy Secret, Boucher Boy, Gilmore and Dig for Gold last.
Lucky Loot shows the way nicely as they work along the far side. It's just the leader. Going after it on the outside, Bold Rani. They're 3 in front of Jadaki Boy. He's ridden this a treat. On the outside, Higher More. Back on the inside, next Pildapper, followed by in reserve. Boucher Boy's taking off. Towering Trojan giving a bit of ground. Tassie Downs ahead of it. Back there with those Sergeant at Arms, Paddy Secret. Right off the track, Dig for Gold. Gilmore improving gradually from Lawhawk, getting up on the rail. Then Master Monty and Pin Number. But the southeastern, a Bold Rani cut loose. against the Flashy Chestnut. Got a length and a half in front now. Lucky Loot's gone. Here's Jadaki Boy coming after it, and then Higher More and Boucher Boy to the outside, and Pildapper getting up on the rail. As they race down the straight, Jadaki Boy swept to the leader, Bold Rani. They bumped. Boucher Boy comes at the lot of them, and Higher More joining in then Pildapper. Boucher Boy raced to a clear lead though with 100 to go. Jadaki Boy, Higher More can't peg it back. Boucher Boy in front, he's throwing everything at Jadaki Boy, but it won't get the other one. Boucher Boy a length, Jadaki Boy, Higher More was third. They